All right. Hey, Scott. Can you hear me okay? My mic's not working too good. Get this link shared out here. We'll get started. Cool. All right. All right, we'll go ahead and get started here. Going to recap over the MoYak Winter Series Stockton Lake event. It's cold. Looks like the bite was pretty tough. Not many fish were caught. It's probably one of the easiest tournaments I've ever had to judge. But one guy did squeak out a limit, and that was good enough to win some money. So see if I can bring this up here. Put the results up. You guys see that? All right. There's the final standings. Your winner is going to be Jason Shifflet with 78 inches. And coming in second place was James Curtis with just 2 fish. But, those 2 fish coming in second place, it's going to pay $155 to James Curtis. So congratulations to James for getting out there in this freezing cold, fighting the ice, and still catching a couple fish. So first place, Jason Shifflet. He is going to win $360 for first place. And then he's also going to win the big bass pot, which was another $120. So that's that's almost $500 for a limited fish in the middle of the winter. So congratulations to Jason Shifflet. And the team as well was Wet Hookers. That team was the team champions as well, Jason Shifflet and Levi Klein. So we've got the champion here for the tournament today. We're going to bring him on and see what he's got to say about how this day went. So let's bring on Jason Shifflet here. Hey, bud, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for coming on here and talking. I bet you're still a little frozen. Are you thawed out yet?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I had the heater on full blast all the way here. It was like an hour and a half drive, so it started to feel pretty good.
Right on. Well, congratulations. Not a bad little paycheck for a small tournament like that. So you want to talk about how your day went? I know it started off pretty good. I saw that right off the bat in the judging scoreboard. I was like, whoa. You want to tell us what happened with that first catch?
But the morning started out rough. Everything was freezing up. Reels were freezing up. Fighting the ice in the eyes. I was actually heading to a bluff wall we seen south around the corner, and I started picking up fish out on this flat where I wouldn't even have thought they were fish, and about 20, 25 feet of water. I just seen them in small schools here and there, so we started fishing them, threw everything at them. With that active target, you can see them react, but they just weren't taking it. And finally, I just put on an A rig, real heavy A rig with like 5/16 head, pretty much like throwing an anchor, just letting it hit the bottom and dragging it right through them. I mean, worked just enough that first bite, I thought I had some, pretty nice one, but it was actually two. So it doesn't happen very often, but that was pretty cool. That happened right then.
Getting to it once on an A rig. Yeah, y'all, you never know how big it is and then you see it. It's like, oh man, it's two, but that's still pretty cool, especially in a tournament when you're throwing something like that and you catch two at once. I'd be like, yeah, that's a good start right there.
On a tough day like today was, yeah. I mean, that was the only two fish I had till last couple hours of the day. Actually, that we're fishing about 20, 25 feet of water, and it's just a big flat right by the main lake. So right after we caught them fish, or I caught those two fish, the wind blew us out of that spot. So we ended up going about a mile up the river and tried to get out of the wind, fish some of the bluff walls, but didn't pan out. Later in the day, the wind dropped. So I hurried back over there and got back on those fish and managed to pull three more.
Right on. So you were actually using your sonar to really look for them.
Oh, yeah. In the summertime or spring or whatever, I like to fish shallow, so just leave the electronics in the van. But for winter fishing, you need them. And I don't really like to sit and fish. So I wasn't actually planning on fishing, but Levi just got home from work. He was like, "Hey, let's go fish," and I was like, "All right." So yeah, I mean, it worked out.
Yeah, it paid out. I think you guys won another $80 on the team side too. The wet hookers are going to get a few more bucks to add.
Kind of like that, Nick.
That's a good one. I think part of the fun of the team series is just coming up with a cool name.
Oh, he had like six of them. They were all good, but that one made me laugh.
Right on. Well, congratulations once again. You got anything else you want to add to that?
No, that's about it. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on and talking to us for just a minute. It's always good to get a little perspective about how it went out there, especially from the winter. So congratulations, man.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. See you, bud. All right, well, there you had it. He said it was cold, miserable, and I believe it too. I don't know how these were. There's 16 anglers that signed up for this tournament, so you men and women are very brave. In fact, I think Stephanie, she didn't even have her battery charged all the way up. I don't hope she wasn't too far offshore when that died. That would have been really bad today. Curious to see how that turned out. I don't know if she's watching or not. But, all right, well, now I'm just going to do a couple announcements and we'll wrap this up. I don't have much more to add. I just want to briefly talk about a few rule changes for next year. Not really big ones, but the pre-fishing deadline, we're going to extend to that. The pre-fishing deadline has always been at 4 p.m. the night before tournament. We're going to move that back to 6 p.m. to give guys just a couple more hours of time that may need that because they still have to work on a Friday and may get off Friday afternoon or something. So that's the logic behind that. The pre-fishing deadline, in my opinion, it's either something that you should be hardcore about, like off limits for, the month before a tournament, except for, 5 days before the tournament begins, the week of the tournament. You either go one way or the other, hardcore or what's the point of a pre-fishing deadline. So we moved it back a little bit. That's no big deal. 6 p.m. Off the water by 6 p.m., not stop fishing. It's a gray line, a gray area. So just to keep it simple, it's the way everybody can understand, just off the water at the pre-fishing deadline at 6 p.m. So there's that. There's also the new entry fee this year. The big bass pot is no longer going to be optional. Everybody's just going to automatically be entered in that $10 pot per person is just going to be automatically figured into your entry fee. So no more having to worry about remembering to sign up for Big Bass Pot. No more of me having to go through and make a list of everybody that is in and who isn't. And also it just simplifies things. So now whenever you see how many people are signed up, you know exactly how much that Big Bass Pot is going into the tournament. If we've got 50 anglers signed up for a tournament, you know Big Bass is going to pay $500. So I think it's going to work out pretty well to make that adjustment. Also, the Big Bass winner has previously received 10 Angler of the Year points as a bonus. We're going to drop that down this year to 5. That's a little bit more fair. The way our point structure works is that's almost like one place. That's the difference between second and third place in points. So 5 points for bonus for Big Bass. So that's going to be a little different from last year. And we played around with the trash pot last year, and I'm going to implement that into every trail event. So we'll have that trash pot moving forward at each event for guys that like to catch carp and perch and gar and drum, all those good things. So that's basically the only major changes in rules. I did go through and re-update the rules on the website. If you go click on the rules on the website page, check those out. There's no changes. I think I simplified everything. And you know, if you have a question that is not explained in those rules, shoot me a message so I can get that corrected, because some fresh eyes would be good. That was a lot of work to review all that. I'm sure I missed something. Membership drive. We're at, I think, 112 signed up, maybe 115 signed up right now for 2022 membership, which is awesome. We've got these really cool hats that are being made up that we're going to give away to the top 150. I've gone all out this year on the trophies, and I mean, those hats cost more than I've spent on shirts in the last 2 years, I think, but it's going to be cool. I think everybody's really going to like the stuff I got, especially the trophies, which I'm going to show those off a little bit here in a second. Actually, let's do that right now. One of the changes I've made this year is we're getting rid of the Happy Gilmore check. It was cool, but I think we're just going to evolve and move on to where everybody gets their own check. So we've had these really cool checks printed up by James Leggett, Cage American Business Solutions, came up once again. So we're going to give these away to everybody. First, second, and third place is going to get one. Let's see here. We've got each one of the team trail champions is going to get their own check. And after the event's over, I'll just Photoshop in the amount of money you won, because that's going to vary depending on event. But, you know, Big Bass is going to get one. And you guys are just going to get to keep these. Everybody's going to have their own. You can hang it up on the wall, do whatever you want. I think they turned out pretty sharp. They did a good job on these, and they're all dated with the lake on there. Also, on top of that, we got these pretty nice plaques. You can see that. Each Big Bass winner is going to get that, and that's solid brass or some kind of heavy-duty metal. These are pretty nice Big Bass plaques. And then the first place trophies, they turned out really, really nice, I think. When I tried out with a different company, and they came out beautiful. It's 3D. See how that fish pops out of there? These are pretty cool. So first place is going to get these awesome trophies, and then everybody's going to get their checks. So that's the plan for the trail events. Yeah, I better bring this up before I forget too. Don't forget about the All-American Kayak Classic Qualifier this April 29th and 30th. Yes, April 29th and 30th. I really want MoYak to show out strong there. We're going to qualify the top 50% of the field to go on to the Classic next year to go against all the other clubs. MoYak won the top club last year. Brian Hillman, Chad Davison, and Dorman Huey as a team, those three dominated. This year, we're opening it up to what's going to be the top 5 guys from each team. So that's going to make it a little more exciting and more interesting. So more reason for MoYak to really show out. This is in our backyard. We're the host club. I really hope that we can just jam pack the sucker full of MoYak guys and show everybody what we're made out of here. But I got these made up. Oh, there's some glare. Is that better? These acrylic trophies made up here for Dorman, Chad, and Brian, because you can see the main trophy back there that they let me keep it. So I had these made up. So guys, I've got your trophies. Just got to get them to you. They're actually pretty sharp looking. They got a stand. So I've got those for you. And then what everybody's going after. This is the Angler of the Year trophy. If I can get all the light to quit shining on it, but she's purty. All of them are still coming in. We've got lots of goodies. It's going to be cool to give this stuff away this year. So that's the trophies from what I've got so far. I hope everybody likes the new check idea. You get to keep them. It's nothing new. A lot of the other series do it, but I think it's more professional. Kind of gives everybody something to take home. And yeah. So moving on. For 2022, we've also partnered up with Kbf again as a Kbf Partner Club. And what that means is that we can qualify anglers in MoYak to go fish in the Kbf National Championship. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to take the top 50 in the final Angler of the Year standings, and those 50 people are going to be qualified for the National Championship. So that's another incentive for you guys to get signed up. To get in on this AOI race, because if you want to go to the big show, which that's what the KBF National Championship is, it is the biggest show in kayak fishing right now. Top 50s, not too hard. That's doable. If you feel intimidated by some of these guys, maybe 10 of them, okay, well, all you got to do is be in the top 50 and you can qualify for the National Championship. We're also an All-American Kayak Classic qualifying club, of course. So the way we're going to do the qualifications for moving forward for this year is we're going to do the top 12 in Angler of the Year points, like we did last year. The top 12 are going to qualify to fish in the Classic. Now, if there's people that have fished in this open qualifier coming up here in April, and you qualify, then these spots will roll down, so we can get even more people in there. So that's even more reason for guys to go fish Truman Lake in April for the qualifier. We're also going to do the top 10 in the River Series, MoYak River Series, Trail Series. Top 10 in Angler of the Year points are going to qualify for the All-American Classic. Now, keep in mind, to qualify for these national events, you have to be a MoYak member. Working on the new MoYak Club jerseys from Rogue Custom Apparel. I think they're going to turn out pretty cool. But it's going to take some time because I'm not done with the sponsorship list yet. So we've got to get that wrapped up, which is probably not going to be until the end of February. So these jerseys probably won't be available until March, if I can guess, maybe April. But I'll try to get it done as quickly as possible. But yeah, that jersey is going to be specifically MoYak design jersey, Everhart's, Solar Bat. All of our sponsors are going to be plastered all over it in a really cool custom design. All you got to do is go to the Rogue website, pick what you want, long sleeve, collared, zippers, whatever you want. You can pick out your size and all that, and then they'll get you one sent. And we do get a discount for a club discount. I've got to get with the owner, talk to him, but I believe it's $59. If we do, and that's for a group buy, I believe, if we order several at once. But worst case scenario, I think it's $89, $89 in there for full price on the website. So these are going to be between $60 and $80 in cost. I'm not really sure yet. So we'll get that figured out, and I will let everybody know as soon as I do. What else we got to talk about? The series is just right around the corner. We'll be starting the Taney 20 off. That's sponsored by Crocodigator this year. They're going to be paying the winner $500 cash on site, and there's no entry fee. So that's for the top 20 in AOI points from the previous year. We'll kick that off on Lake Taneycomo at Rockaway Beach. That's in March. When is that? March 26th. Then the regular trail season for MoYak kicks off on Table Rock Lake, April 23rd. And I'm going to go out right now and predict this is going to be the biggest tournament that's been in Missouri. I think it might be bigger than what the All-American Classic was. I think we're going to have so many people at Table Rock this year. It's a MoYak event, which last year we had 111 for MoYak at. It's also an All-American Kayak Series tournament this year. They're coming to Table Rock. The NSKA guys down in Arkansas, they're having their trail series in conjunction with ours. We might even be doing a little border battle with them, Missouri versus Arkansas. Still working on that, but Table Rock is going to be huge. We've got a new venue for Table Rock. We're going to be at the Branson Sportplex this year. I got a pavilion reserved. It looks like a pretty neat facility. We may be sliding over there from now on. And also the Coca-Cola company there at Ozark, they're going to be down there giving out some free samples. They've got some new flavors they want us to try out and some new beverages. So they're going to be down there to check us out and see what kayak tournaments are all about. So I'm excited to have them on board too. Online series is going to start in March. If you're looking after that March if you're searching for that Angler of the Year title in the online series, and the points begin in March. It runs March through September. So February is next up for the online, and after that, it's for points. So that's about it, I think. I don't see any questions. I don't even see any comments. I don't know if it's working. But I guess I'll find out later. If you guys want to fish the All-American Kayak Series, I really hope. I know about a dozen of us probably are so far, but it's a really cool kayak tournament series that's going to be kicking off at the end of February down at Lake Palestine. And that's going to be a bucket list destination, monster bass potential. So if you got in Texas, that's not too far of a drive for us. So anybody want to travel, hit some new water, we've got a group going down there. I mean, I'm sure we can all find some place to stay or whatever. So we usually travel. MoYak travels pretty good together, make a good team. So if you want to be on the team, just raise your hand. Trash fish pot. No, Scott, trash fish will remain optional. That's not going to be included in the entry fee. You'll see it there on Tourney X when you go to sign up. You just check the box for trash fish pot. You'll pay that. I think it's $5. But no, trash fish pot's not included in the entry fee. We'll keep that optional. The River Series is going to kick off on April 9th. It's going to be a statewide event. Instead of putting it in a region, I just open it up because it's April in Missouri, and it's probably going to be flooded. Who knows what the weather's going to be like. So statewide allows everybody to find clean water, I hope. So that's the plan behind that. That's all I got. It's about time to go watch the football game. I think the Packers are going to kill the Niners, but who knows? Any other questions? All right, guys. If you haven't signed up yet, go get signed up. The sooner you sign up, the more it helps me get everything organized. Steve Earle's got a question. Minimum number of MoYak tourneys for AOI. It's 5. The Angler of the Year series goes off your best 5 of the 7 tournaments. We've got 7 events on our series. This allows you to drop your 2 lowest scores, or if maybe you couldn't make every single event, then you can skip a couple and you're still in the game. So 5, best 5 for AOI. Anybody else? There's a lot of new names signing up on the roster this year. It's exciting. I think we'll have over 200 members again this year. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. If anybody has any questions, you always know I'm available. Shoot me a message. Get signed up. And let's get ready to rock and roll 2022.